Yeah, and Brooklyn, New York. Ah, yes. Okay, give me one more second. One more second. Ah, here we go. We're getting there. Okay.
Things in the house.
Things in the house. Welcome everybody for What Are You Up To? Featuring Wunmi Olaiya, letting in Efrat, featuring Wunmi Olaiya. Wunmi is a songwriter, performer, and costume designer. Born in London, raised in Lagos, Nigeria. Through her early teens, her work draws from a childhood steeped in the sounds, style, and ethics of Afrobeat, as well as the roots movement coming out of Jamaica. As a teen in London, soul, rare, grooves, acid, jazz, funk, broken beat, and drum and bass would further influence Wumi's sensibility. Wunmi studied fashion in London, then her role as the iconic dancer for Soul to Soul would bring her into the dance and music scene of New York. Yes. Uh-oh. Woo, woo, boo, where she would begin to design costumes for her choreographer friends. She has been awarded a Bessie for her work with me and Ron Brown in the past year, commissions for works by Nora Chapirmir, I always mess up her name, Wunmi. Nora
Sorry.
Chapirmir. And Ron Brown have been produced by Urban Bushwomen and Alvin Ailey Dance Company, Cleo Parker Dance Company, Philadelphia Dance, Dayton Contemporary Dance Company. Everyone, welcome Wunmi as she deep dives in to her newest adventure, and that is Seeing Me Afro Pun King, an
I
art
see you.
installation. I
I
see
see
you.
you.
I see you, Afro Pun King, an art installation. Welcome, Wunmi. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Marlies. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
beautiful. I'm so happy to be hosting you today. And for those that don't know me, I'm Marlies Yearby. I'm a choreographer, a director, a speaker, and now I'm a host due to Zoom in the world of what? COVID. We are surviving. We are. Yes. So,
Yes.
Wunmi, here we are, Afro Pun King, supported greatly by the Brooklyn Arts and Cultural Foundation. And so tell us a little bit. We're doing a sneak preview on you, yes?
Yes.
Where did
So,
the title come from? Talk about that.
well, I'm actually here in Lagos, as most of you now know, and it's literally a year to the time I showed up here, thinking I was here just to do the production with my collect for my company, Wow Wow, and at the same time, meet with my artisan textiles to build the actual fabric for I See You Afro Pun King. Who was to know that I will be here 1 year later? It's just like
Wow.
click that, click that.
Yeah.
Anyway, universe knows best, they say, and I felt like what has actually what this allowed me to do is to, instead of rushing into what I thought I had a time span, is to step back and actually let it come to me.
Yes.
When I made application for the grant, it was in a faithful place of knowing that I finally needed to do something for me. I have designed costumes for friends, for dance companies. Being commissioned is been a blessing. It's given me, allowed me to create things for other people. Then I realized that I really haven't actually done something on a scale with all my dreams, my vision, and no rules, so to speak, to tell you, no, you can't do that, or you have to make it to fit that person. It was a time to dream beyond my wildest dream. So taking on the step to create this installation was like putting something on me that I've never done before. Returning to Nigeria, thinking it was going to be a couple of months and get back to New York and start doing the work, and realizing I was going nowhere. It was like, huh? Nowhere?
Yes, nowhere.
Pause. The pause button allowed me, the beginning of the piece says, I see you. Well, I have to see me. I really had to see me. In doing this work now, it began with me dreaming on the whole concept of who it was I was seeing. The idea that I was an African girl in Brooklyn and doing all that I love. And I always saw myself as an African child. But now being back in Nigeria, the whole thing shifted, because now I'm a Brooklyn girl in Lagos. I'm adjusting to all the minor little things in my mind. I've suddenly found myself looking for who I was looking for me here, and not the girl who was back in Brooklyn. This vision of I see you, Afro Pun King, became bigger than me. So I took a step back. With the lockdown, I sat at home and started sketching. What would the heart of it be? What would be the soul? It's no longer now trying to do something fancy. It now became about who is coming to the table? Who am I seeing? So the first thing that happened was that I came in March, which is raining season, and it rained. It rained so much that all I could do is sit inside and look at it. We had a lockdown, but now we had rain with it. And in the pouring down of the rain, I guess I was thinking, what am I doing? I'm like, wow, look at that rain. Look at how heavy it is. And I took my sketchbook and I drew what I thought I was seeing. I'm like, rain. At this point, I hadn't thought about my textile, because everything begins with the fabric for me. Adire, the love of adire. Adire is the Yoruba, translated to English, adire, we tie cloth. So the vision of like rain, I'm like, how can I put rain on fabric? How would that work? So I did call my artisans, and they knew I was in town, but because of the lockdown, we're not allowed to meet. I said to them, I said, will you be able to create batik that felt like it was raining? And I said, we do anything you tell us to do, we'll do it. I said, okay. I started sketching. I sketched things that felt like raindrops. The minute we had the open door to say we can now move here, I went to see them, nose masks and all. And I showed them, I said, I want rain. I want rain. I want like when thunder and lightning and the rain is coming down heavy. And I gave them cloth. I told them also, because I've been working on mostly cotton and silk, that this time I wanted to use jersey. I wanted something that I can pull and make fitted forms out of. So I gave them jersey and I left to them, and I came back. Where they are is Sulere, which is actually one of the places I grew up in as a child. And where I'm staying is in Shomolu, which is more the old town. And it's a bit of a journey. I came back to Shomolu and I just began my sketches and waiting for them to tell me when to come and look at the fabric. The next thing I then did is that I called Mama Nike. We call her Mama Nike. She is actually Chief Nike Davis Ugundane. She is the ambassador of Adire. I mean, she is the queen. She is like, what this amazing energy. When I first met her was in New York. through Follow Colade, we call him Foley. He does batik. I met him when I used to go to Foretta. Kevin Hilton. I don't know if you guys know him. He plays the Mbara and Shekere.
Yeah.
He introduced him to me.
Yeah.
He introduced him to me. He said, I met somebody from Nigeria you have to meet. That's how I met Foley. Foley is a graphic Adire designer and a talking drummer and also a musician. And it was like a relationship that was made in heaven, because as I started doing my designs costume for Ailey through Run, he actually began doing my tie-dyes for me. So all my original fabrics was Foley. So imagine me now being in Lagos and connecting with Mama Nike. Mama Nike is actually his auntie. He introduced me to her when she came to Brooklyn many years ago, but I never met her again until I came 6 years ago to Lagos. I went to her gallery and I introduced myself and I said, she said, oh, I remember you, you're the artist that Foley works with. And she introduced me to everybody in the gallery. It was like, wow, this is this very important woman. She owns this amazing gallery in Lekki. Any of you, when you please make that trip to Lagos, you must come to her gallery. 6 floors of art, all kinds of African art. And then she has a collection of Adire. I spent that day just, can you inhale Adire? I was inhaling all the amazing artwork she had there. In meeting her and talking to her about Adire, understanding why it called me so much, it called to my core. I did Adire batik work as part of my portfolio when I was back in London to apply for college. But I never really did it as an artist who's doing textile. I have so much love for it. So for me to be among folks who actually do it daily, it's like I said, it's like soaking it in. With Mama Nika, she saw what I did as something very valuable that gave me the confidence I need to pursue this. Like, do it, Wunmi. Don't be afraid of it. Do it. All the questions come daily. Am I doing the right thing? Am I going in the right direction? With I See You, Afro Pun King, it comes back to that same title. I see you. I would like you to actually hear Mama Nike, because I went to interview her once the lockdown opened up, because I told her about the installation place, and she said, yes, I'm proud that you're doing this. I said, Mama Nike, do you mind? I would like to interview you, because one of the things I want running during the installation is people could sit down and listen to you talk about Adire and give more deeper insight into where this inspiration, where this fabric that I'm so in love with comes from. So I want to share with you a little snippet of my conversation with her. And it actually began with, she had a couple of artisans, female artisans, because actually originators of the Adire were women. The women took the main lead in actual designing this fabric. So for me to do the interview with her, she organized it at the film 2 female art Adire designers who came to the gallery to do the design. Oh my, let me just plug in the lights. So.
Don't even worry about it. So while you fix the light, what we're gonna do is put up Adire's video, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna put that up. Give me 1 second here. Not to worry.
Haha, let there be light.
Adi, Are, Adire. Adire is a textile that originated in Nigeria long time ago. Adire come into market to be selling before people just do it for themselves to wear it, to use it for celebration, and also they use it for wedding, chieftaincy, kings. But in 1910, 1930s, they start making money from Adire. So Adire is originated from the whole Nigeria. The northern Nigeria, they do Adire that is called tie and dye, the one with corn. They put corn inside and tie it, and bring a beautiful design. They put gero, which is the bird food. It's like guinea corn seed. They call it seed adire. So each hole they tie have seed inside. I will show you that one when we finish. Then we have adire hand stitch from Cross River. They stitch everything. After the stitching of then they now dye it. The adire from Cross River, they actually do it on hand woven. Then we have adire from Abeokuta, which is stencil, and also alakete, which is a tie, and they call it hat, alakete. Then oni patani, adire oni patani.
Is there?
Yes, I am coming back to you. Navigating it. Where are you?
I'm actually enjoying that.
I knew you would. See, I thought we should go further, and I bet you your audience wants to hear a little more too.
Would they like to hear more?
You can
Which,
unmute
which some,
yourself and speak, people.
which,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
okay, go ahead.
Fabulous. All right.
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, now you know. Give me a moment because I'm not Miss Technology Queen. All right, well, give us a second. Let's put this back together. Here we go.
All those two names come from Abeokuta. The hand painted from with chicken's feather and cassava paste. So that design originated in Oyo, Ibadan, Osogbo, Ede, all these Yoruba speaking. They paint their own with feather, and they also stitch with raffia. After they stitch with raffia, they call it aditu. So that one is called adire oniko, adire alabere, adire eleko. All those come from Ibadan, and it also come from Saki, goes to Kogi. The Kogi one, they are always on hand woven, while the one in Ibadan is always on mountain. And each pattern have a different name. So adire is the cloth that belong to Nigeria. So I will say the whole West Africa, because you go to Ghana, you see adire there. You go to Mali, they paint their own, and they call it mud cloth. You go to Congo, they dye it and stitch. After they weave the fabric, they will now tie it and now stitch it on another fabric. So the whole West Africa, they do adire, but this Nigeria is still the headquarter. The story of adire, as I know from my great grandmother, it come into the market in 1910.
Ah, we don't want to let you see the whole thing because you have to see the installation. But it is beautiful, Mama Nike. And I noticed that her name, in front of her name, Chief.
Yes, she's a chief.
Yes.
She's a chief. She was made a chief, and she's also the ambassador of the arts. And again, like I implore all of you, please, when you make that trip to Nigeria, make sure the first place you go is her art gallery. It's just amazing. I literally go from when they opened the lockdown and we were able to move out. I've spent almost every other Sunday. I will go there just to, you can never see enough. And it's just, and she's so welcoming. Just like you see that interview, I sat with her and she just gave me the whole everything. We discussed it. It was just wonderful. Like I was just, yes. And I'm so happy that I'm able to share that. That's what I wanted. So I thought it was very important to have inside the installation, the actual story of the fabric, like the origin. So that was the first thing. I'm happy that I captured that.
Beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. And you know, it's something beautiful. There's no accident, right? So it's beautiful that you were there in Nigeria. You needed to go there anyways to film this. And then to be able to spend this dedicated time really allowed you to sit and be at home.
It allowed me to, the process, the journey of what it is that I was trying to get at. Because when you get a commission for costume work, you're given pieces, you're given, I'm working to a storyline. You understand that it's set, and I have to make sure I'm appeasing the choreographer as I'm appeasing the company, if there's a company involved other than the, with this particular project, it's actually myself that I'm appeasing. So it's not even different from doing my collection for Wow Wow. Wow Wow, I'm appeasing a collection that I need to sell. I need to sell the collection. This is actually an installation piece. It's a dream piece. And initially thinking art, but realizing that the connection of all of my dots, where I came from, where I've been, and where I'm going. So the idea of the rain, when we did the first actual piece, when it was ready, and I was still conceptualizing on where it is that I wanted it to go, I did a quick shoot because I have all my creating a story, a mood board, but with myself in it, because the vision and the ego, the person, the alter ego is myself. So I did a quick shoot where I took the cloth that I had, the first piece that they'd done for me, which was on cotton silk. I draped it, but in order to get it as wide as I wanted it without cutting up the fabric, I shifted the cloth the other way, vertical. So now my rain was going this way. After taking the photographs and I stepped back and looked at the pictures, and I'm like, hold on a second. Oh, this looks like sperms. So I saw it was like rain, sperm, fertility, understanding. Part of my inspiration comes from the masquerade. The original Afro punks, a masquerade. Do you understand? I don't know how many of you have actually seen the Egun. One of the things, the spiritual rituals from major events are usually the Egun, in translated to English, masquerade. And there's usually like, you have the circumcision, you have coming of age, all different rituals. And quite a few of these rituals have masquerades. I kind of think in my head, like, okay, I have this thing that I want to do that is rain. But if I flip the fabric another way, it becomes like, it looks like sperm or toads running. They're going somewhere. So I'm like, you're playing with something here, Wunmi.
Do you want to share with them the video that you made of the process?
So yeah, one of the things I did, I actually got my artisans, because again, I wanted people, when they come to see the installation, to actually see the process of the fabric, how it came to life. You know, it's one thing to actually have something ready-made, to actually see the process from the beginning to the end. So yeah, I filmed them, and we did a time speed up so that you could actually see the whole process under 5 minutes. So I hope you enjoy this one.
Yes, I know they will. I did.
And I call it Raining Indigo. That's what I titled it. Meditating on rain.
Beautiful. Oh, Wunmi, it is so beautiful. And the rhythm of how they're working together and the beauty of seeing how it goes from your mind to then something that is just hand drawn to something that is in.
Every single bit.
Yeah.
Everything is hand drawn.
Yes.
The process, like literally,
Yeah.
usually you have stenciling. There are all different forms that are used to create batik, adire. But with Wow from time, I tend to lean more on the freehand, which allows it to be more organic. And with this particular piece being the rain, as you can see, the cloth drawing, spilling the wax. So basically what you saw from the beginning of the footage is obviously my drain, which is the rain, and then the wax that's melted. So the basin that you saw is the wax being melted, and the one of the fabric they pour the wax on, and the other one they create a pen. The pen is created from foam. They actually cut the shape into a pencil-like, but it's foam that they could dip in the wax and they could use it to draw. Amazing, amazing. I love working with Moshood. Moshood is the one who is doing using the pencil-like, and Wale is the one who's doing the pouring. They're brothers, and I've been working with them going on 10 years now. It's amazing. It's a blessing working with them. And creating that cloth in that whole process, the journey, and seeing it, actually seeing, we did it so we could film it in one day. It actually did the whole thing in one day. Wow. And it usually happened, we got there very early in the morning. Imagine condensing that to 5 minutes, but it's the process of drawing that. The longest part, obviously, as you can guess, is the wax, putting the wax on the cloth, wait for it to dry, and then putting it through what the steel pan that you saw burning, that was actually the hot water to melt the wax off the fabric after it's been dyed. So the process of putting wax on, putting the wax cloth in the dye, and then putting the dye, the cloth that has now got the dye in hot water to melt the wax away. And that's the journey.
I mean, it's fascinating because when I'm looking at them putting it in the water, the heat, the fire. So is the fire a part of the removing of the wax, or is the fire a part of setting? What is the, because the
it's removing the wax.
Okay.
So the hot water alone would not remove the wax. It would dry too quickly onto the cloth again. So the fire needs to keep burning so that the hot water melts. Really, it's hot, it's super hot, as you can see, to melt the wax. The hot water will wax, melt wax water to melt the wax, and then they move it quickly into the water. That's why you see so many buckets there. The process of going through to release the wax from the cloth. And sometimes even after that's been done, the cloth still feels that it's got wax on it. So sometimes we need to dip it again, and get the.
There is a version of cloth that I've heard you talk about before, where the wax remains on. Am I wrong about that?
That is eleko. That's the one that we saw the ladies working on. So the difference between what I do with my guys and the one that I showed through Mama. With Mama, it's the traditional adire eleko. Eleko is cassava. It's cassava paste.
So
And with cassava paste, it doesn't penetrate it doesn't penetrate. So when you use cassava and you put it on the cloth, it stays on the surface. That's why, Zinda, you love your indigo. This is your favorite cloth from me. One side is solid and the other side has the design. And they use pure indigo for this particular cloth. And that with this particular one, as you can see, they use a clay pot, and that's the pure indigo. It's not as hot as the wax, because if it's that hot, if it's too hot, the cassava paste will come off way too quickly, and the design won't stay. Whereas with the wax, it goes right through the cloth, and it penetrates both sides. So when you see the cloth, it's both sides. The design shows on both sides. So that's the difference.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful, Wunmi. Wunmi, you showed me some images that really spoke to the legacy of this work. Do you want to share some of those images?
Yeah, so in my journey to creating, visualizing, and moving in the space, the fact that I cannot just go and do the production as I planned it, it gave me more time with my research. My research began before I came to Nigeria, but then I got to find out even more, connecting the dots. The ritual that most, like my mom explained in the footage I have of her, she explains how some designs specific to one particular thing, there's a theme behind it. For me, I don't have a theme, so to speak. I'm creating things that I love aesthetically. Obviously, with I see you, my fabric, rain inspired. It's the idea of rain, the blessings that come from rain. And so creating my tribe to wear this print that is a blessing from rain. In my research, there was two particular groups of people that I was looking and checking out a lot that have a tribe and a look. One is the Wadabi tribe. Their cloth is something that has inspired quite a few of my work that I've done on projects already, costume-wise. It looks hand-painted. Oh, this is my king. This is not from a Wadabi tribe, but he used my vision of the royalty, the monochrome of colors, black and white, blue and white. I just love that. He's fierce. He's a fierce, like, I feel like my main piece, however it's going to be, would be this elaborate, meaning that, like regal, royalty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Wadabi, what I love about the cloth that they wear, again, it's all indigo with different designs. Nothing stays the same. But they're so punky, man. They're original punks. The original man. So that's the second one. Would that be?
Yes. Here we are. Let me see if I can get it.
There we go.
Can you all see good? Yeah.
I mean, can you see these guys walking down Brooklyn, man?
Yeah.
Straight up going to Restoration Plaza. That's what I'm talking about. So my vision on the piece I'm working on, the whole idea of the androgynous, not he, not she. Just, I feel that we all have the strength of that anyway. My piece that I feel when I'm designing on myself is never to say, oh, this is for a girl, this is for a boy, or this is for a male. It's really about the aesthetic and the vibe. Warrior-like. The woman is as fierce as the man. So for me, this is the Wadabi tribe. They're like, yeah, this is one half of my punk that coming behind me. They got my back. And then the other crew that in my research, we have, obviously, like I said, the fabric that we have in Nigeria, you have the Yoruba, but the Igbos, which is the other tribe, also have their own form of batik, as Mama said. Again, what I love is the monochrome, the blue, white, black, white. And I think the next thing we're going to show is from Igbo masquerade.
Okay.
Yes, check this out.
Mm.
This is Labor Day weekend, straight up, no joke.
Yes. Yes. Wow.
Again, if you see the pattern, there are squares, there are triangles. This is one of the themes I notice a lot in the traditional hand-drawn batik. With my piece that I'm working on, obviously, like I said, I'm not following the traditional. I'm really following a theme that comes from the idea of being rained down, being blessed, lightning strikes. And it's, instead of it actually affecting you, it gives you strength. So it's a combination of those two things together. And that's where I'm going at. But these images were what I was pulling on as I'm visualizing my tribe that are going to be carrying I See You, Afro Pun King. I think the next bit that we're going to show now is the Bamileke. Bamileke are from Cameroon, and they are fierce. I loved masquerade from I was a child. When I first came to Nigeria at the age of 4, I lived in Tunumbu Square, my family house. There's a particular festival that happened in Lagos called Eyo. Eyo, they wear all white with big hat. And I haven't seen anything like that outside of that until I met these folks. They wear humongous hat, but their hat is even more funky than the Eyos. They have this face mask that they call, that apparently it's meant to be the energy of elephant. If you notice again what they're wearing, it's chromosome and it's monochrome, shall I say, blue, white, and with hints of red. It's something I've always messed with. I love, love, love blue and white with a hint of red. So yes, I'm definitely visualizing red happening within the piece that I'm working on. I love that. I feel again, this is like, it's couture, it's fashion. Only different thing is the face is covered. If you take the face off, anyone will wear that down the street. You could wear it to an event. So again, it tickled my brain, it tickled my vision, and it's pushing me forward. Yes, it is couture.
And it also feels like it could be beyond time as well.
It's not, you know, it's that timeless, things that are timeless.
Yes, it feels even futuristic. If you just were to like
Afrofuturism.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's this particular piece, they're worn by royals, the elite, and warriors. And it's usually during a specific ritual that they at this masquerade comes out. It's very powerful.
It's very powerful. And the ears,
yes. The whole face mask, it's actually meant to be depicting elephants. Do you know how powerful elephants are?
Yeah.
I think it's the one that you see. The next picture that you see that shows you even more.
Okay, let me pull that up for you. You guys, if you have a question that you want to ask or a statement, I do see that everybody's putting in the chat. I will try to go through the chat, but it's also okay. This is a community moment.
Please.
You to talk to Wunmi, to talk to me. It's all right. Yes?
I would love to hear the voices.
Yes.
Thank you for everything, you two. We love you.
Wow, Marie, beautiful.
The patterns are amazing. And you know, I went online and bought a dress.
Lovely, that's it. Yes, you can go to Wow Wow by Wunmi and get your own item. Yes, you absolutely can. And we will drop all of her coordinates there in the chat in a second here too, before we all depart.
Yeah, let's go. Drop that link. I might get a dress.
Yeah.
Down there.
So I do things. As I said, it's not male or female, really just the love. So it's there. This is what I'm saying. Check this out, folks. Just check this out. Now you can see my hair, right? You can see it, right?
Yeah. When you do the spike with
When I did the spike, yes.
I love it.
It's all in it. It's all in there.
Mohawk. And the
It's
native, the
original.
indigenous people of this
It's
land,
original.
the connection, the indigenous people of this land too.
The indigenous.
Yes, of America, connection, absolute connection.
I call it indigenous funky tribe.
Yeah.
You know, they've been they invented fashion, so to speak. You know, there's nothing new. I've always said that there's nothing really new. It's just really it's just more revelation. That's what we're seeing. When you see something, it's something that's being hidden, that's now being revealed.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm almost wondering if the geometric, are there codes in the fabric? I feel like the fabric is speaking to me, like there's codes, like it's part of the video that Mama explained that the design that the women in Yoruba area, they use it to communicate. So when you guys come to the installation, I know you get to sit down and actually, that alone will occupy you, because she really just shared beautiful information about how the fabric talks and how the women were using it to communicate. So they actually would do a pattern that said something. And so yes, there was a form of code in there. And I love this image that we're getting ready to share now, because now this is how it comes together in your vision, in your world.
In the planning, yes.
Yes. Am I doing the right one? Boom. Boom.
Wow.
Wow, it's right.
Wow.
So what I had planned to do, but I thought at the time, was to actually, when I did this was me wanting to, creating my own mood board with myself, so I can begin to see where this thing is gonna go. With the time, you know, the planning and when the grant was given, I thought at one point that I needed to print this and send it, but I'm like, no, I don't want to. This is not finished. The installation is not finished. This is the middle stage.
Yes. This is wrapped and draped in all of the imagery that you're playing.
The fabric.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Well, she's fierce though.
See how you can just drape yourself and make us feel like we just saw a completed design.
Yes. That's literally what it is.
Look like a superhero.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
You see that richness passing right through. Beautiful.
So do you see the rain that now looks like sperm going somewhere? I keep saying.
I think Maria said it was beautiful. The rain to the sperm to the fertility to life.
Fertility.
Yeah.
Life. Yes. Energy. So yeah. So this is one of I see you moving forward.
Okay. Here.
Well, I just wanted to say the sound of the rain in your
was
really powerful too.
Thank you.
Knowing that it was your inspiration and it comes through the fabric and we can hear it, it was really very powerful.
I feel that when I do the installation, I'm actually gonna have rain. I feel when people walk in that the rain should carry on, the sound should be playing, it should be part of the soundscape.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, beautiful. Yeah.
So can you imagine her, she, he, they walking down Fulton or Eastern Parkway? You know, the tribe. I just felt like looking at the masquerade that and the Wadabi and the Bamileke, and the idea of something that is a ritual, and it's not just something you wear, but it's something that takes you to the next place. That's basically where my mind is going. And it's an elaboration. In the process of what I'm doing now, I'm not just this is actually my hair built up, but I'm actually going to make wigs so that the mannequin will have the hairstyle that I'm visualizing. And I'm also working with a cobbler, so the shoes as well. So it's literally going to be from the feet all the way to the top.
And you spoke about dance, and you also spoke about mannequin's color. Talk about both of those things and how they may inform.
So the whole idea of doing an installation, when I think about it, going to museums, often things stay in one place. They're static, they don't move. But obviously what I'm dreaming, what I'm coming from is from something that actually moves, is alive. So my idea, as I thought, is that I would do an installation, pieces that are static, but I'm also going to create for my friends who are dancers to join me in that installation, where we get a moment of the actual installation coming to life. Mm-hmm. So there will be the static, and then there will be the real humans, and it will move. So again, there's a whole idea of the tribe that exists. It's not extinct. It's real. It's the future. It's not, it's not the past.
Yeah.
Now in the color, going for the blues and white, it's like life, earth. Like you hear the rain. It's soothing. Blue suits, blue and white. It's. I could say anything about you go into the forest and the rain. The idea that rain, that you get rained on. It's powerful, So I felt like those the color. I've always loved blue and white, and I know there was a time when I thought my customers for my brand would like want colors, and I'm like, oh, what blue? The blue is love. One of the things Mama told me, she told me that blue is love, blue is royalty, blue is life. She said they don't wear blue for funerals. She said blue is joy. And so for me, it just felt right that this piece was going to be predominantly blues. But then there's also the red thing that calls, and I guess you could call it Shango, the power, that the lightning, the thunder that comes in, that gives the, when it rains and you can feel the energy charge coming up. So it's a combination of both. So that's where my energy is on this piece. And I feel also in the tribe, when you see them, that they come in fierce, basically. Somebody wrote warriors. Yes, there's definitely a strong element about it being, they're like warriors. I feel that they're ready. They're ready. You can't come out looking like that and don't be ready.
And it's amazing, because with everything that has gone on around the globe right now, the warriorness of who we are is truly emerging now. I mean, it was there, but now it's emerging in a very powerful way. Yeah.
I think there's what I've been appreciating being here is interesting. There was the protest last year with the youths. And it's not just in Nigeria. Look at what's happening in Senegal. It's real. There is no sitting back and waiting anymore. There is this awareness that you are the person you're waiting for. Mm. You are the shiro, you are the hero. There's no other person. And if you do give that power to somebody else, then you can't complain if they don't give you, if they don't deliver. So yes, and I feel like with this piece that I'm creating, it's a power piece. It's like a mantra, but they're human mantras. I would say they're aliens that have landed, but
Yeah.
they never left. They're always here. They were just quiet, waiting for the right time, and they're coming out. So this is who they are. Like I see, oh, I see you, I see you. They are coming. They are coming. You know. So
Yeah. Wow. Beautiful woman. Yeah. And one of the things that in the process of that year, I know I was watching, I'm trying to think of the name of the documentary right now, but it was on Nigeria. And I called you and I said, Wunmi, I feel like I'm watching America's history in Nigeria. And you said, yes, go ahead, Wunmi. You said, it's the same. It's the same.
nothing. You know, I feel like it's like even what I'm doing, it's not new. Again, because the connection is the masquerade. The masquerade is a spirit that comes from the past that knows where the future. So in everything, it's been open to that information that's coming. And I felt like initially when I realized I was stuck here, I felt everything had gone wrong. I actually, my heart went into my mouth, and for a long while I couldn't even visualize anything because I thought, oh God, it's gone wrong. Then I realized, no, you're actually supposed to sit still in here because the energy that it's going to take for this thing to actually be what it is comes from here. That's why you came home. You just didn't know that you needed to stay longer. So, and that's where it's at right now. When I was talking to Mama, she tells everybody when I go to the gallery, she introduces me and tells them what I do, and I'm always like, I don't see it like she sees it, but she told me, she said, we need you. You're doing it. You're making it real. It's not old. You're making it real. You make it normal. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think, you know what, I think you bring it currency to now, because oftentimes people get stuck in thinking of the traditional wear as something based on ancient or is ancient. They don't think of these happenings as now.
that's why I really appreciate my connection with Mama, because that's you. I couldn't even put the words because you just said it. Because I was hesitant that maybe there will be a disapproval because I'm not doing the norm, but she actually loves that I'm doing what I'm doing. She tells the artisans, because everybody go right around her. She has a Sunday special where there's lunch. So if you do come, I keep telling you guys, because I really think you need to come. She gives lunch on Sundays, and the artisans, everybody, all wherever the wood carvers, textile, painters, they're all there. And she basically says to them that she's doing her own thing. She shows them my fabric, like and I always wear wow. So she said she's waiting. That's her design she's wearing, and I'm just like taking that thing to that place and owning it. Mm-hmm. Again, that's what this installation is. It's owning that I am the future in my own way. I've visualized myself from the past, and I'm bringing it to where I know it's and it doesn't stand in that space, because she's like, you know, the Afrofuturistic. I've always been like, I've never really felt like I was in one place. I was always moving forward. I'm always looking the alien that's about to land. You know, which planet are you from? Oh, I'm from planet Africa.
I love it. Yes. And we do see ourselves in the future. We are.
And we are. I feel that Africans are the future. Mm-hmm. We are the past and the future. It's there is nothing that anyone could bring to the table and tell me, I will go into Africa and I will show it to you. Do you know everything that is now becoming like the language of what is new? You go to Africa, you will find it. And I feel that is the energy I'm feeling with the youths here. When I was a child, things seemed so conservative because we got into that following the Western way. Now things are shifting where people are now embracing their Africanness more so than ever. The music is always the core, and that has released people. And now seeing the youths, I'm around them, that they're exploring. Like it's like, no, we've always been a punk. We've always been, that's the future. It's always been there. And I was saying that to someone today, that I'm really happy that the fact that what used to be seen as, oh, my light's gone again.
That's all right. You keep talking. I'm going to pull up one of your images while you fix that light.
Yeah.
No
what
worries.
is seen as they say as being, oh, you're rebelling. No, they're not rebelling. They're reconnecting. There's no rebelling. You're finding who they are, what their ancestors called them to do, and they question it. There's no more questions. You just have to embrace it.
Wow. That's the rain is coming down. It's no longer sideways on here. You're living inside of the rain. Does anybody want to say something to Wunmi while she is reconnecting to the electrical currency in Nigeria, Lagos?
Lagos.
By way of Brooklyn.
In the house.
In the house.
I think I might be back home. Yeah. So the picture just now, again, that's the Jersey rainfall, and creating an overall or coverall that male female cross. It doesn't. There's no differentiation. But again, it was that powerful. It's just so regal and so like in your face. No apology. But it's not, and at the same time, like I said, it's not traditional, but it has such a strong element of something that feels like it came from somewhere.
Yeah.
I guess it's good.
Yeah. And I mean, and it really beautifully embraces the fact that in all of us is feminine and masculine. There is no separation in one vessel. No. And so the demarcations are ones that we make as people out in the world, how we want to identify it. But in the body, both exist. So it's beautiful that your designs are celebrating that.
And I feel it's funny when you look at what Daddy tried, the men actually beautify themselves more than the women do. So there was a time when it was, that feeling was open. And so it's like, I feel like in general right now, what's happening among the youths, they're going back to that place where you don't define me by saying I'm a he or a she. It's by my deeds, my actions, you know? So it's all good. So anybody have something to ask of me? I was so happy to see you all here.
Hi, Wunmi.
Hi.
I'm so happy for you. Like, you were at the right place at the right time. And you were able to break through, like to realize that you are in the right place. And then like to see all the beauty that you produce come together in like a big, in Germany we say Gesamtkunstwerk, like everything, all the bits and pieces of what you do and what you've been doing for a few years are coming together, but it's for you. It's your vision. So I'm super happy to see that. And thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
When is the exhibit?
Well, you know, with all of these lockdowns and shutdowns and rekindling,
and everything, right?
Yes, it's been hilarious. But one of the beautiful things about it again is that this is giving me an opportunity to actually set it here first. Because of me being here now, finally, actually, people are like, no, we're going to see it first, right? I'm like, I'm here. So it gives me an opportunity to actually begin the stage here. And by the time I see you Afro Punk Lagos, then I see you Afro Punk Brooklyn. So that's where it's at. So I'm excited because I feel like it's got to grow. It's not going to stay in one place. Here, I'm going to work with the dancers here. And then when I come to Brooklyn, I'm going to work with the dancers there. So again, it's jitterboxing. I feel like it's telling my story because I'm not of one place, really. It makes perfect sense. And thank you so much, Angela, because I never realized how much I was always scared of what I can do. And I have to thank Marlies because she is always catching me when I'm to that place. I'm like, you've been doing it. So I'm here with it. I had to sit in it, and I'm excited by what. It was good for me to have this opportunity to share this because it actually makes me realize it even more because the process is now moving. It's moving.
Yeah. Angela, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, beautiful. Anybody else want to say anything at this point, or you have a question about anything that you heard? Who's talking? Who's talking?
That's just me. I'll turn my video on in a second, but the blue and white, you see it in so many patterns in Africa. Even in Marlies's room, you've got a blue and white cloth behind you to your left, I think, Marlies. It's
It's like
okay, right.
Yes. And so that I bought from Africa. Yes.
There's something very, very powerful about that. I have to agree with you on that. But Wunmi,
Mama Nike said that blue and white, basically blue is the identity of strength. It's like regal. For many years, that was the cloth. Like that was like cowrie. Indigo was the cloth. You know, it was highly prized.
So Wunmi, I am so grateful that you are in Nigeria because every time I see images of you, you're just glowing. It's amazing. I mean, we're so blessed that you got fed that way because it's allowing your spirit to come out. I did want to ask you if when you take photos, do you design the way it's going to appear, or do you have a photographer that you work with? Because some of the images that you put forth, I'm like, damn, that is amazing. I love that. Like just that split image that you just showed before.
Yes,
all of it.
That's so funny. I have somebody who doesn't like me do the split images. She tells me off for that, but actually something about those split images that I love because there's when they come together, there's another dimension in between that becomes another art. And in that same space anyway, most of the pictures I've been taking has been me because of the social distancing thing. And we're not going to hand the phone to somebody and say, can you take a picture for me? But I got blessed by CY Napoleon, one of my dear sister friend, who came to Nigeria. So I had a mini shoot with her. And we went to the beach. That was one of my funnest time. And she took these pictures of me and a couple of the people who came. I just happened to bring the clothes. I said, could you put them on for me?
When you were on the horse.
Yeah,
We
that
want
was
the
on.
horses.
So the most of the photographs I've just been winging it. I find a way to shoot it. Find someone to say, "Can you mind taking this picture for me?" I feel funny, but I'm getting overcoming myself. I'm overcoming, or should I say, I'm becoming.
Coming. You are arriving beyond the place you were. Yeah. Thank you, Marie. It's good to see
Thank you.
Angela, Marie. I feel like I'm seeing everybody that I haven't seen in a long time. It's a nice family gathering. Where's
Zenobia? Oh,
Zenobia?
wow.
Yes, Zenobia. Let me do a quick read of the, how do I do that? And yes, and I think Shalewa was raising her hand. Shalewa, just unmute yourself and speak.
Hello. I wish I'm on, my camera is not working on this particular device, but I had emailed a question and I'm going to revise it. I don't know if Marlies saw it, but it was asking about design versus improvisation. And I was thinking about it again when I was watching the Adire artists, particularly those who pour, and just wondering what is happening for you in that particular valence between what you control and what emerges.
Well, it's funny because I've chosen not to do any of the control stuff. I literally, like the rain, it's raining. And in that sense, I have two different sizes of rain. I have a heavy, heavy one. So by the time all this construction is done, people will see there are different sizes of the rain. There's big raindrops, and then there's really small ones. So there are different sizes. And the same with the lighting, which started out as seaweed. There is straight, not straight, because that's life. Really, in real life, nothing is the same. Nothing is perfect, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want, and that way I can use the same print and get an effect that is not the same print. And improvisation is like the shoot that I showed of me, the mood board. It was that same place of keeping it spontaneous, like visualizing, wrapping. Traditional way of dressing is the cloth that you wrap around. So I created this thing, but what I'm gonna, in this installation piece, will have a little bit more control because I'm going, I think I am, I'm building pieces that have a combination of structure and free. So thank you for asking that.
I love the rain going sideways because sometimes that's what happens. Like sometimes the rain goes sideways. Sometimes
it does actually
goes sideways.
And when your umbrella becomes useless, because you put your umbrella up, but the rain is coming this way.
Exactly, exactly.
Voila, and Wunmi.
Wunmi, where will your installation be?
Well, you know, I had reached out when I initially made this proposal. I reached out to Mukada, I reached out to Brooklyn Museum, I reached out to Restoration Plaza, I reached out to Wicksfield. And you know, I feel like everything is in universe's hand because I feel with what's happened now, I'm more likely gonna get more than one option than maybe if I was waiting for one. With what you guys have seen today, I'm excited because even for me, being on this side, looking at it away from me, I'm like, wow, it's coming together. In Lagos right now, I have the option of two different places. They're actually varying to present the work. So I'm like, it's amazing. And I had with Marlies, I had a conversation, she said, Wunmi, by the time you get that sort of set here and you let those folks back in New York know, they will actually partnership with you. So this is the process now. There's like getting this stuff set here. and letting people in Brooklyn know, and using this opportunity to find a home for it. If you know somewhere else, Paz, I'll be so happy.
It's gonna be beautiful. So good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paz. It's good seeing you too.
I know.
In the house too. Zenobia in the house. Oh, beautiful. Sabella is hanging out here. I don't know who ML is, but thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's Marie Louise.
Oh,
ML is
Marie
Marie.
Louise. Okay, okay,
But
okay.
there's somebody underneath her as well as ML.
Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Falasa.
Efrat.
Efrat. Yes, she is in the house. Speaking of dance, yes.
I'm really happy to see you, my dancers, because you know you guys are my inspirations. You guys inspire me in terms of that I create clothes that I also move. So I look forward to see how you guys respond to this installation when it's ready. Because I was saying that the mannequins, those clothes won't move. So I'm gonna make the so what the dancers wear can move, but you know, you never know.
I saw this image that came up and it made me think of the work I've seen you do before, and you sent it over. So I'm gonna pull that image up now because I think it's a good place to uh-oh, to begin to journey away from this moment so that everybody can dream it forward into the future with you.
Wow. Aha.
The dancing tribe.
Love it, love it, love it.
I'm grinning away like a Jessica.
Absolutely
Oh.
beautiful. So good. Fantastic.
And this is a young group of musicians, and you just to see the way they responded when I created, again, using the fabric, because I'm trying to see the scope of what it is that I'm doing and how it, when it's put together, the colors, mixing, separating. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. And this is as simple as it is.
Will you be performing at all during the installation at, maybe at the opening or the closing or anything?
The concept was to do a performance on the opening, obviously, because I wanted it to move. So there'll be dances, and I feel that that involves me. But I'm at this point where I won't finish yet. I'm at this point where I'm also like, I feel like my collaborators and the folks who I'm working with, I'm open to releasing it, So I feel like wherever it goes, wherever the energy takes me, I'm actually riding on that, So
wings and soar, my dear.
Yes.
You guys, I'm breathing like this. You don't even know. You don't even know. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
To make a decision to do something for self, to be so courageous and to say it's not because somebody has ordered it, somebody has requested it. It's because I felt I needed to play. I see you, Afro Pun King. It's like, I guess you could say, it's me seeing myself. And I'm looking forward to it. And it's not really me, as you all know, that my alter ego, she's bigger than life. So the vision I have for this piece that's been growing is bigger than as a regular human being. So I'm excited that being able to take this step forward with it and share this process. It began in Brooklyn. It came from Brooklyn. And now I'm in Lagos. I'll be bringing it back to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
came
Oh
to
my God, Hollis King.
Hello, Hollis.
Oh my God. It's gonna be wonderful to bring this piece home. You guys are. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions, anybody? I know this time is almost up.
What came to me is that by you creating this installation, you will be able to see yourself in our seeing of the installation, that you will see yourself in us. As we look at this, you'll say, oh, that's how they see me. And boy, are we going to be grinning just like you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here and honoring the work of Wunmi in Process for her exhibit.
You've given me energy, guys. You've given me, thank you. Slay. Thank you, brother, man. Thank you, Angela. Thank
Yes,
you.
of course. Love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cinda.
Yes.
Thank you,
Pour on the love. Put yourself.
Thank you, Wunmi.
Pour on the love. Yes.
Thank you, Wunmi. Thank you, Marlies.
Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you all. So beautiful.
Gigi, oh, you.
Beautiful.
Oh my God. Thank you all.
Good night, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Nice
Oh
seeing
no,
everyone.
Zenobia, blessing.
last-
We're honored to have you in the room. Creation.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm so happy to see you all.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know, you've been showing us how to do this thing for a long time, you know.
Yeah. It's a reflection from you all, you know. I just reflect off of you all. So wonderful to see you. We got to do this more.
Yeah, oh, definitely, right? Yes. And for those of you, I know everybody knows Zenobia, but if you don't know her, go and look up her work. It's amazing. Her installation work is amazing. Yeah.
I like
Yes.
Yeah, so the meeting's over. This is
the
conversation.
Ended. The conversation only if you all need to ask more or say more, and then we will stay for another moment. But if
can I just read something Shalewa wrote? She wrote the funk.
Please.
She wrote the funk meets the warrior rain. Yeah, that's
The funk is the warrior.
The funk is the warrior. What?
Yes.
Yes.
The beginning and the end.
The beginning and the end, and across all continents. No.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Cosmic.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Take care, everyone. It's so wonderful to see you all. Thanks for doing this. It really is lifting for the spirit.
Yeah, it really is.
So if I could, I just wanted to say one thing, and I'm sorry, today for some reason was like 1,500 Zooms, and I'm like, what? And I was like, I gotta get on. And I just want to say that since I met Wunmi, when I worked as director of education at Mokata, from that moment, and actually I met her before that because I knew her through Soul to Soul, and then had the opportunity to actually become friends, is that you've always striving to stay true to your spirit, that you are always striving as a creative, as someone that works in multiple fields. I think it's important that we recognize what genius is, and that it does not happen in a straight line. Often as creative people, we go in spiral, but the world is telling us that our trajectory should be straight. And so one of the things that I recognize is that we each have our own way. We each have our own path. And I just want to hail you up, sis, for staying true to that. Even if it seemed like, what's Wunmi doing now? Well, you know what? Let Wunmi do Wunmi, so she could be free, and that we all can be free. And that ultimately what art is about is expression, and it's about freedom. And you exemplify that. And you know, cheers to you, and continue on that path.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, it's being courageous to to walk into yourself. And it's one of the things I appreciate a lot of you who are here. You've been that mirror for me when I've questioned. You've reminded me, and this installation is a conversation piece, and I feel I've always done her in bits and pieces. I did something with Marlies, and that freedom to just create with that spontaneity, he reminded me of that. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, Gigi.
So it's so amazing to hear you talk about coming into yourself, because this morning I had that moment where I was like, oh my God, I met her years ago in London. And let me tell y'all, I went to this club for my homeboy. I was out there recording, and and they were like, yo, we're gonna go to this club tonight. There's gonna be this set. This woman took a crate, a box, a something, appeared in the middle of the dance floor with a microphone. And when I tell you the energy of the room literally went through the roof, time stopped. We didn't know where we were, who we were, but we knew we were together. And this was priceless. And it was this person right here. I'm like, if you're just coming into yourself, I'm scared.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry,
no. Yo, I experienced Fela's music like I've never experienced it in my life. Falling. Yo, this woman, right? It's burned into my memory. Wunmi, what are we gonna do
Plastic
with you?
People. That was Plastic People. And that was I remember that. I will never forget that, because I remember clearly. It was Plastic People. It's like the basement kind of venue, and the ceiling is low and it's rammed, and there's no way people would have seen me. That's why I pulled out the crate, because they were not going to see me. So I pulled out the crate to be seen, and I got up there, and I had done the cover of Zombie, the rework of Zombie for Red Hot and Riot with Bugs and Artie. And I was told by a dear friend who's now late, Ty, Wunmi, they're killing it with Zombie. Zombie is huge, but for some reason I couldn't get back to come to England at the time. So when I finally did make that trip home, they set up a party for me to come and play, which is Plastic People. And I showed up. The room was rammed wall to wall, literally. And when I got the mic, started, the whole room started singing. It was just, you say about my energy. No, the energy in that room, there was no way I could have stood backwards. I had to carry it somewhere. It was amazing. The DJ kept rewinding the song, and the audience, they would sing along. There are journeys, I guess, in life that we take, and it's like this is one of them. Being here in Nigeria, putting this piece together, is the component of many parts. The one that you share with me is the other part of me. This is one. This person here. Is Zinda still here? My God, Zinda, you're part of the reason why I'm doing this, right? You're part of the reason. So, yeah, I ain't gonna tell you you're the reason. So really, I feel like you're all seeing me. I hope with the installation, it will come to the level where other people will see. That's what this process is. It's taking it where what it is, where it came from, and where it's going.
Yeah. Wow, Wunmi. Somebody is speaking. Wunmi, success is our success. Yes. Yes. And we all got to remember that. Yeah. Every time we step out and do,
Yeah.
it resonates. So we got to keep doing, even though it feels like everything has been gone away. Even if we need to do it in the square of the box, we got to keep doing. And Wunmi, you and I were connected when you got stuck behind the curtain in that moment when COVID hit. And the
You
journey,
remember?
yes,
You
journey
kept,
to
you were the one
blossoming
that
out
kept
of that,
thinking,
rising up like a phoenix, girl, rising up. I mean, it was devastating for all of the arts community, and but to have you, you know, there and the uncertainty of everything all at once, and to see you rise, and the images, yes, Marie mentioned, seeing you over the time, like blossoming and growing back into yourself. Yeah, back in, 'cause I think we were all disembodied for a moment,
you know,
right?
I think so. We were all, I think it, and also it's what made it start to make real that this installation is not, it wasn't set for a time span that had to sit still. It was going to happen when it's supposed to happen. So that's what I had to also embrace,
Yeah.
you know. So thank you all so much. I mean, again, like I said, a Niger girl, a Niger English girl who became a Brooklyn girl who now had to come back to Lagos to bring the stuff more back to Brooklyn. It's the journey, and I'm excited. It was nice to do this presentation today just because it allowed me to look at it from myself, which is funny enough to actually hand it over to my sister and say, okay, this is the stuff, you know, it's really like,
Yeah, who's technologically challenged. So yes, we pulled this off. This was beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone.
So beautiful, so beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
And Wunmi, for me, there's many people here I don't know, but for the people that I do know, you have gathered a powerhouse of artists, you and Marlies. It's like, you wondering who your tribe is? Oh my gosh. Just
I'm
look at the
looking
people
forward to you
here.
guys are solid, man.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, both of you.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And thanks for the energy. Thank you all. Thank you
Yeah,
all.
thank you who has a gallery out queen, and Angela, who is the designer for Rent.
Rent. Thank you, Angela.
Wunmi, work is on Rent now through Angela. Blessings, blessings.
Yes, yes.
I'm so glad I could.
If I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. Shalewa,
Yes.
Hollis, Efrat,
Thank you.
Emel, Zinda, Alicia, Wasade,
And I also want to give a big shout out.
Yes.
Big shout out to Brooklyn Arts Council, because believe me, if not for the funding that it gave, I don't even know where my ass would be sitting right now. It gave me the room to breathe and not to feel like everything had gone. And you know, that's more right, the determination to do this, finish this installation.
Yeah.
It's important. And now, folks, please help me to thank Marlies Yearby.
Thank you, Marlies.
You have somebody who believes in you so much that I'm telling you, Marlies, thank you. Do you know, actually, she is the first person I met when I came to New York.
What?
That's actually, yes. She introduced me to everybody I know. When I came to New York, I came way before I actually came as me. I came to audition dancers for PM Dawn. That's when I met Marlies.
Yes. I'm remembering, right? Wow.
Marlies,
Yes.
you're a midwife. You bring forth so much.
And then all the artists, everyone that we all came around, it was her events. Reminds me of it actually, you know, Marlies? This kind of reminds me of it.
Yeah.
That everybody, all the artists, we all came with whatever we did and we all shared. That's when we used to do those events at West Village on the rooftop.
Yeah. On the rooftop with the beans.
Yes.
Beans and rice. We made beans and rice, and we
Beans and rice
on the rooftop, and everybody would share their artistry.
It was amazing.
You need to have
and
those.
That is like my first time I was going to do Wunmi, the artist, the singer.
Yeah.
Because up to that point I didn't. I only used to just do
the dance.
And here you go again.
And
here's the countless folks, Marlies Yearby.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
thank you.
We're so looking forward to this exhibit landing in the absolute right place. We call upon that place to step forward for you, to embody it, to hold you, and to bring forth whatever you need to allow this exhibit to shine in Brooklyn. And we know that you are held in Lagos. You travel safely on back to Brooklyn. You all be safe in the world.
Everyone.
World.
I'll be coming soon. Hollis.
Yes, Lord.
I
hear the undertones. I hear all the undertones, Wunmi.
You talk about often, Hollis, in good way.
I'm looking forward to showing you the pieces. I actually was going to, you know, I remember I was talking to you about because people are asking me where is it gonna leave? Where's the installation gonna be? How?
I have a feeling we can figure it out. I have tremendous respect for you and your work, and any way I can support you, you know, I'm there.
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. You all.